So let's try that. Save it for a comparison. And you can see again the smooth attach provides a much better renderer. So you can apply just a basic bevel to the whole window also. Even in the render viewport view, it looks much better than the straight edges. So I'm doing again render for comparison. Now you can see the difference in the smoothness of the light interaction with the window. So the next thing we need to do is to create the texture for the support that's on top of the window. So let's go to the UV texture editor and create a UV snapshot. This will be 1K snapshot. The UV snapshot of the window frame was again 1K, 1024. Always try to make different sizes for the texture for the different size of the objects, so you have nice optimization of the scene. So if you've tried to put all 4K textures on all of the objects, it will get too much heavy for your computer and the whole scene. So I'm just creating pulled up this rock texture, this smooth rock texture. Just place it on top and just duplicate it one time. Again, just erase a little bit to remove the edge of the duplicated texture. So again, creating Cameo Material X. So let's left foreground house support. Again, let's insert the texture in the file node, filtering off. And already you can see the texture in the viewport. Again, I'm tuning now the reflectivity. Again, the reflectiveness of the different objects, you can use a reference for that. You can see a texture as the one that we used, this, and you can see how much reflective is, and you can just tweak the settings to match that level. So this is the rendered scene with the support on top of the window, so it looks nice. The whole mesh is already smoothed, so we don't need to create any more details in it. So I'm just creating the bump map for the support, duplicating it, desaturating it, and tweaking a little bit for the levels to create a little bit more contrast between whites and blacks. So again, the overall bump, create a file, texture node, turn filtering off, and insert the texture. So you can try render with the bump texture. As you can see, it's a little bit more too aggressive with the bump value set to 1. So you can try render it from up close, see how it looks from there. So let's render with the perspective camera. So actually it doesn't look too bad. But again, we can try different values. So let's try 0.2. See how that looks. That's much better, much more subtle. You don't need to overblow the bump map. It all depends on material, but for this one it's a smooth rock, so you don't need much bump details on it. So I'm going to select these corner edges of the window, just going to bevel them, because like the slab that's on the bottom of the window has all those sharp edges. It had all those sharp edges. Now I'm just going to remove it. Just tweak the settings until you achieve a nice result of the edges. Obviously that's a little bit too much. It's a nice interesting shape, but you're not going for that. So this is much more subtle and nice. We've tried to a little bit bigger number of segments. Instead it's getting a little bit too smooth, so it's not acting like a piece of a wall or like a rock, and of a much more smoothed object. So it's better to use probably one segment than 3 or 2. So one is, it gives that reflectiveness to the window without making it too smooth. See the tiny difference? Again, it gives a little bit of that nice highlight there. And we can, when we pump up the render settings, this will get much more visible, the change of the beveled surface. So now let's concentrate on the biggest piece, that's going to be the ground. So I've already created the UV snapshot for the ground, so those are the UVs for the ground. So this is the snapshot. It's 5K snapshot. So this is the biggest texture of the scene. See, 5120, and this is the main texture for the pavement. So the ground will be paved. So this will give us a little bit of a different challenge when we tackle details of the ground. But let's now just concentrate on the texture, on the diffuse path. And again, if you can see, texture is too big for that size, so I'm just going to scale down and just duplicate it 2 more times. Now need to get rid of that sharp edge. You see, using a default Photoshop brush, just getting rid of the visible edge of the duplicated texture. And with such big textures that will cover a big part of the scene, you don't need to worry much about duplicating details. In this instance, duplicated stones. This seems nice. I'll probably just squash it a little bit on both sides.